Hello everyone, welcome back. Savages here, coming back with the new part of deku as Hawk Moth. Now, normally I would have, uploaded today a part of a comic kill, but truth be told, I'm a little excited to make this one, and, well, so I did. We'll keep a comic kill on hold for a little bit, not like anyone really watches it, it's like, I don't know, 3 to 5 people. Regardless, before we get right into it, don't forget to tell me down in the comments what do you think about this part, and your theories, ideas, and blah blah blah, just entertain me in general. And well, let's just start this already, shall we? After Midoriya fell down and lost his consciousness, all the rest of UA students have been, told by the principal and the rest of the teachers to go back into their classes. There is no damage have been done and no one really has any serious injuries, so no need to cancel the school day. Regardless, Midoriya is taken to their cover girl office, and Principal Nezu have called on Inko Midoriya, and, she did come to the school along with her friend, Mitsuki, to see their children, not to mention a police officer being Detective Sukauchi, to come and understand what's going on. And right now, as Midoriya has basically got checked on and he's fine, he's completely alright, not hurt, no pain, no nothing. And what happened, it seems all foggy, really. But the most important thing is when, Miss Inko heard what happened from Principal Nezu, she immediately started by slapping the hell out of Ladybug with the back of her hand, and then she starts yelling at her. The only reason she wasn't gonna attack her is the fact that Mitsuki is holding her back, as Inko just proceeds to yell at Ladybug with tears in her eyes, saying, "You disgusting bitch! Why would you do this to my son, you heartless monster? He's just a kid, a quirkless kid. Don't you understand? You do this to him? Doesn't he already have enough of a problems as it is? You call yourself heroes?" As she just keeps yelling at Ladybug while Mitsuki holding her back, saying, "Inko, please calm down." As she said, "Calm down? I'm not calming down. That bitch just took my little boy into prison, tortured him, and then proceeded to turn him evil. It's because of her he got akumatized. And what about you? You're supposed to be the principal of the school, and you allow my son to be hurt like this? What happened to you promising us that you will keep our children safe?" As, Nezu just looks down, while Midoriya is right beside Inko. He's also trying to calm her down, but he's not daring to touch her, while Inko starts threatening them, saying that she's gonna sue them for this and she'll have the school closed. But then Midoriya is like, "Mom, please calm down. It's alright, I'm fine." As Inko said, "You're fine? You're fine? Misuku, do you understand what just happened to you? Do you have any understanding of what just happened to you? I don't understand most of it. I'm completely terrified. They thought you were evil. You just, I can't comprehend it. You're supposed to protect the students of your school. You're supposed to trust them, and the only thing you do is put my son in danger. He's already quirkless and suffered enough. I thought that I would keep my boy safe, but you telling me that you took him to prison?" As Nezu said, "You're right. You're completely right. Everything you just said is right. As a principal of UA, I've broken the one most important rule of any principal should never do. I placed my student in danger. Even if he's not from the hero course, he is still a very valuable student. The highest ranking student in the general course. And yet here I was, desperate, and did a desperate gamble that it ended up very badly for everyone." As he proceeds to look at Ladybug, and He said, please do not put the blame on Ladybug. It is I who brought the idea in the first place. If there is anyone who should be taking the blame, is me. As he stands in front of Inko but then bows his head saying, but please, Miss Inko, put all your blame on me, but not on the school. The students of UA have suffered enough, and the teachers as well. I know it's not in my right to ask this of you, and you have full right to be angry on me and to even threaten me with legal action. But I beg of you not to sue the school. UA is a symbol of hope for all of Japan and the world, and right now we are in dark times. If UA is to be shut down, then only God knows what could possibly happen for the rest of society. Villains will run rampant even more than they are now, and criminals such as Hawk Moth will hurt more people. As Inko just proceeds to say, you seriously telling me not to sue this after what you did to my son? As immediately another person stand in front of Miss Inko as he said, yes, Miss Inko, I understand that you're angry. You're fully justified. I also have hurted your son. As Midoriya sees All Might in his Small Might form, as he continues saying, I hurted him long ago, and I take the blame for it. I forgot, but now I remember it clearly. We met before, and I have hurted him badly. And even now, I saw your son. I saw how desperate he was, the pain that he was going through. And I only blame myself for it, a symbol of peace. Yeah, right. I couldn't even save a single quirkless kid. But I just understand. I don't have any words to tell you. No words and no apology could ever suffice for the mistakes that I've done and the wrong I've did to your son. And so I ask this of you, as he goes down on his knees and turn into his strong All Might form, saying, please, do not do any legal actions against us, Miss Inko. I beg of you, dearly. UA right now needs to stand tall and show the world that the heroes are still on their sides. If you want to sue anybody, please sue me. I will take all responsibilities for the mistakes I've done, no matter how they are. As Principal Nezu said, we shall even give you, well, physical compensation for what happened. And Inko just yells at him saying, you can keep your compensation to yourself. I care about not your money or anything of it. I don't care about your school. All what I care about is my son, and I thought that you should care about him as well. All I'm asking is that you stop hurting him. He's gone through enough. He's going through enough. I don't want to see my son hurt anymore. Is that too much to ask from a mother? As Inko just watching this, looking at Inko crying, as Midori just holding her and saying, Mom, I'm sorry. As she said, don't you dare apologize for something that you're not the fault of. It's those that hurted you. I don't even think you should be going to the school anymore. As Midori said, Mom, no. I know that what happened is wrong, but please, do it for me. If it's not for the Hero Society, if it's not for, well, keeping the world safe, and if it's not for yourself, then please do it for me. I'm just tired and I want to go home. I don't want to have to deal with any legal actions at the moment. And I still want to go to UA, at least for now. Can you give me this chance? As Inko just looks at Midoriya. Well, Principal Nezu said, Miss Inko, I have failed tremendously, but I shall take actions to ensure that such mistake shall never be repeated again. Take this as a promise. that from here on out, UA will do all in its power to protect their students, mentally and physically. As Inga said, you better do. I'm not doing this for you. You should be thanking my son for being so kind to you when you don't even deserve it. As he said, you're right. You are right. Thank you, Izuku Midoriya, for giving me a chance. As Midoriya said, I am. As he doesn't say anything, he felt like there was a word that was supposed to come out of his mouth, but no words leave. As then, well, speaking of leaving, Inko immediately grabs Midoriya's hand and leave the school for today. Screw him. She wants her son back at home now, and so they can discuss some things. Regardless, she takes Midoriya away, while Mitsuki stays behind to check on Bakugo. When she goes to check on him in the office of Recovery Girl, she first enters while yelling, but then she sees him just sitting there on the hospital bed, just staring into the distance, lost in thoughts. She never saw that expression on his face. And, well, when she tried to check on him, he's just silent. Eventually, Mr. Aizawa, his homeroom teacher, have informed her that it will be probably good if Bakugo takes the day off. He went through the most right after Midoriya. And so she proceeded to take Bakugo away. While Principal Nezu, All Might, and the rest of UA's staff, including Ladybug, after she had the conversation with her daughter, and well, Emily was not as going easy at her either, because when she realized what happened to Midoriya, everything about it, she started yelling at her mother, saying, of course, the moment she gets a friend, an actual friend, her mother immediately assumes he's secretly evil, because that just makes so much sense, doesn't it? You're so paranoid. Just leave my school. I was having a good school day until you showed up. And, well, she just left. And Ladybug just didn't have any words for her either. She's just thinking to herself. She's lost in thoughts. Everything that Hawk Moth did, he was gonna win again today, and it would have been her fault. Regardless, all of UA's staff, including Ladybug, are right now, well, in an office meeting doing a little rundown of what just happened, including Detective Sugauchi, to try and see his case of Hawk Moth and where it could possibly go. And after running across all the evidence they had and rewatching that video of Midoriya and the cameras about him stealing the files from the server room, after a close inspection, Aizawa was the first to speak up, saying, I didn't know it at first, but when I rewatched this video, it almost seems like he wanted to be seen, don't you think? As everyone looks at the video, including Ladybug, and of course, it makes sense. A champion who can shapeshift. That's the only explanation. Maybe brainwashing? Possibly. They did find his fingerprints at the scene, and it's just complicated, and Ladybug hates it. This was all just a plan from Hawk Moth, a plan to be able to take one of his prisoners free. His old champion, Domino, and he used this quirkless kid to do it, and he was even about to defeat her because of that. Thankfully, his plan was successfully destroyed thanks to the same kid he akumatized. Regardless, Principal Nezu continued speaking up, saying, it seemed that Domino wasn't the only one who escaped Tartarus. Hawk Moth have took another prisoner. As Midnight said, and who that might be. As he continued speaking up, saying, well, it was prisoner 775, also otherwise known as Lady Nagant. As everyone eyes widen a little, and All Might says, Lady Nagant? Do you mean that hero who has been accused by, as Principal Nezu cut him off, saying, "Yes, killing the old head of the Hero Public Safety Commission? Indeed." And seeing that Hawk Moth have took an interest to her. If the evidence he has on the Hero Public Safety Commission that he revealed in the sports festival are correct, and Lady Negant is indeed just accused by murdering a few other members of the Hero Public Safety Commission and falsely charged, then I can only assume that he wants to add her into his ranks. And Ladybug just clenches her fist, and they keep talking about all the evidence and about Izuku Midoriya, and, well, All Might can just help but thinks about the kid. That time he told him he can't be a hero, and what happened today. Today he saw that kid. He saw him angry, furious, and he saw all that pain in his heart on full display. But also, he saw his power, he saw potential, and he wonders, if that kid had a quirk, would he be just as powerful as that? Truly, this universe isn't fair. Regardless, with all of that being said and their meeting continuing a few more, well, half an hour at least, Principal Nezu have deducted that it's time that they ensure that the students of UA are completely safe and secured. And by doing that, he proceeded to inform Cementos to start their, well, project for a dorm system. It will take a few days, but thankfully it will be done by like 2 or 3 days. He needs to keep the students safe after what happened to Izuku Midoriya. They barely escaped what can only be a case fully against them from Inko Midoriya. And he doesn't really want to deal with any legal actions at the moment. Not because he can't win the case, but more so because, well, they have a lot on their plate and he can't add another thing. With that all being said, this school day of UA continue, while with Midoriya on the other side, he goes back home and he just sits there with Inko. Inko makes him a bit of food, though Midoriya noticed that she's still visibly angry and just talking under her breath. Eventually she just calms down and she kisses him on his forehead, saying that she was just so scared about him, realizing what's happening, just so terrifying. She just doesn't want her son to be hurt, and she asked Midoriya again if he really, he doesn't need to force himself to like UA. There are many schools around Japan that are honestly at this point even better than UA, because that place is just a death trap. And if he, not doesn't need to worry about any legal actions and any problem, she leave that to her. I mean, they have the money to take a quite that good lawyer. But Midoriya tells her that it's alright. He really doesn't feel angry. Honestly, he doesn't feel anything at the moment. After that emotional outburst he had of being akumatized, he kinda now feels emotionally drained. Nothing, just peace and quiet in his mind. And, well, Linko just smiles happily, seeing that her son is still somewhat fine. As Midoriya just tells her that he'll be going to his room. And Inko told him, okay. And she told him that she will also be here at home to take care of him. While Midoriya told her that it's alright, he is fine, she can go to work if she wants, but she isn't leaving today, that's for sure. And the fact that he doesn't need to go back to UA tomorrow if he doesn't feel good. But Midoriya told her that no, in fact he does feel completely amazing. Like he said, after all that emotional outburst, it almost feels like a weight has been lifted off of his shoulder. In an odd way, Hawk Moth kind of helped him to empty all of that stress. In the end, the nighttime comes and, well, Midoriya wakes up in the middle of the night after having a little bit of a dream. A dream of what happened this morning, of him fighting All Might and all of that power as he looks into his hand. And then he looks at his window with a little flower pot in front of him. as he looks back and forth on his hand on the flower pot before he extends his hand in front of the flower pot. And he just holds it there for a solid minute before he then pulls it back and looks at his hand. As he said, well, it was worth a shot. As he thinks to himself, all that power. It may be wishful thinking to imagine him still having that power. But I guess, he doesn't have it anymore. Well, it's not like he can be a hero. But suddenly, Midoriya noticed something on his little computer. But right beside it on the desk, he noticed a box, and beside of it was a letter. As he looks to see both, and he first opens up the box, and from the box, a little tiny creature flies out. A green tiny creature that looks like a snake. As he said, man. Well, alright, what is it this time? Wait, this isn't. As Midoriya looks at, what the? As the little creature looks at him saying, oh, you're Hawk Moth? As he looks at him, he looks around the room and, well, nothing seems to. He said, are you Hawk Moth by any chance? As Midoriya said, Hawk Moth? How could I? No, I'm not Hawk Moth. As he said, doesn't seem like you're lying. Though I wonder, where am I? As he looks back at the desk, the little flying creature, and he immediately opens the letter. Because on the letter there is a wax symbol that takes the shape of a butterfly. As he said, maybe this can answer my questions, and yours as well. Well, first let me introduce myself. I am Sass, the Kwame of Second Chances. As Midoriya said, second chances? Sass, as he said, maybe you should read this letter first before any further explanation. Maybe it can answer both of our questions. And so Midoriya does. He goes and opens the letter, and he reads it. It's a letter from Hawk Moth to him. He starts the letter by apologizing to Izuku Midoriya after what happened. He explains that he needed somebody to use in order to enter Tartarus and be able to help his champion get out of there. And he appreciates Izuku Midoriya's help and sufficient actions, even if they were against him by the end, and even if he wasn't technically agreeing to it. He understands that Midoriya has a dream of being a hero and that someone like him without a quirk could never reach that dream, sadly. But then the message continues saying, but what if you can take that dream and make it a reality? Here I'm offering you a chance. Inside the box that you probably just opened is a miraculous, a magical item that allows you to become a hero. And on the back of this letter there is an explanation, a teaching that will help you be able to use this power without the needing of powering down, and be able to use it as many times as you want. Give it a good reading, and I hope that you are ready to deal with the responsibilities of being a hero, because believe me, they are not easy. You can do whatever you want with this miraculous. It did usually, normally belong to Ladybug. You can return it to her or use it as your own. It's your decision, and your decision alone. I hope you have a good life, Izuku Midoriya. And signed by Hawk Moth. And Midoriya flips the letter on its back and he reads it. It's a teaching, an explanation of how to use the miraculous permanently without the need of powering down. To think like an adult is to allow the miraculous to go beyond its normal abilities, because the only limitation of the miraculous is the ones that the user place upon themselves. As Sass reading all of this with Midoriya, as he said, did he really just give you the miraculous? And Midoriya said, a magical jewel? Really? This all seems crazy. As Sass said, well, I know it may sound crazy, but it's real. And Midoriya holds the bracelet in his hand. He said, should I return this to Ladybug? I mean, it does belong to her, right? As Sass said, well, it does belong to her. But let me ask you something first, Izuku Midoriya, was it? As Midoriya just nods. And Sass said, "Do you really want to be a hero? And what kind of hero do you want to be?" As Midoriya looks at the bracelet. And he said, "If I had the chance, I want to be the kind of hero that saves everyone with a smile on his face. That can keep everyone, making them feel safe when he's around. A hero like All Might." As Sass smiles at him and said, "Then how about a deal?" As Midoriya said, "A deal?" And Sass continues saying, "Well, of course. How about you can use my miraculous for a little bit, and maybe eventually we can return it to Ladybug?" As Midoriya said, You're really gonna let me?" As Sass said, "Why not? Seems like you're a good kid. And I wouldn't want to stand in the way of giving someone a second chance. I told you before, that's my whole thing. And now this is your chance to be the hero you always wished to be. And if I am to be honest with you, I was a little bored of staying in a box for quite a long time. I do want some action." As Midoriya said, "Oh, so you want me to use your miraculous?" As he said, "Well, of course. What do you say?" And Midoriya said, "Yes, of course. I agree. I promise." As Sass said, "Well, then, if that's so, Izuku Midoriya, I am Sass and I shall be your Kwami. It is an honor." As Midoriya said, "Hey, Sass, Izuku Midoriya." As Sass said, "Well, how about we continue this conversation tomorrow? Shall we? You seem that you have a very big day ahead of you." And Midoriya said, Yeah, you're probably right." As Midoriya goes and, well, sits on his bed again, leans down. As Sass continues saying, in his mind, "This is ought to be interesting. I wonder, what is Hawk Moth's planning? And to what purpose does he give this kid a miraculous of the snake? Is it really out of the kindness of his heart? He did seem a bit different than any usual villain that I've ever seen." As then Sass proceeds to lay down on Midoriya's head and sleeping, saying, "Whatever it is, I hope that everything works out in the end. Especially for this kid. He seems like a good kid. I wonder what kind of hero he will make." And they both go to sleep. And this one gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to tell me down in the comments what do you think will gonna happen in the next part, and what do you think about this part? Well, I have nothing more to say then. Severed was here.